Do welcome again to our Lulogooli class series. And today we will be looking at another fun part of learning to read, to write, to speak, and even listening when Lulogooli is spoken. We have looked at the nouns, the verbs, and the pronouns at a brief. Today, we will be looking at another aspect very essential in Lulogooli, known as Viivaali. Again, Viivaali. Singular, Kiivaali. Singular, Kiivaali. This does come from the Lulogooli word Kuivara. The name comes from the Lulogooli word Kuivara, which means to elaborate, or rather to say more. Now, what about elaborating? What about saying more? The English equivalent of this is known as an adjective. And the purpose of an adjective is to say more, or rather describe nouns or pronouns. How does Lulogooli go about then trying to describe its nouns or pronouns? It is by aiming to tell the listener or the other party more about something that we come up with such words that bring that kind of vivid expression to put into the mind of the other person what the speaker really means. And these words are nothing but words that describe. For instance, my name is Rungafa Igonza, and there are such features, both physical and non-physical, that do describe me. It is the use of such words that put us into writing or talking, building up on sentences and making the language fun. We are going to have examples of nouns and any pronoun so that we can, by using that, describe how Lulogooli finds words that ibara nomba amangana gibara Lulogooli. One of our nouns, let it be mundo. Let our second noun be emburi. A goat. And we can have our third noun as a pronoun, ura. That person. So, if we wanted to describe a person, let's say Mundu Mutambi. A tall person. Tambi is tall. Mundu Mutambi. We did in our previous lesson discuss how we get the mu to rhyme with the mu. That Lulogooli is an alliterative language. That the mu here stands for the mu in the noun class scenario. Emburi, the goat. Eala, the goat is grazing or it's eating. Then ura, that person. Ura, arima. That person or that one is digging. So the three words, mutambi, tall, eala, it's grazing, arima, he's digging or she's digging, are what we call in Logooli, Viivaali. Because what? They are telling us more about the nouns. We shall be discussing whether they are merely just adjectives or they have other sole purposes, like either is a verb. It's something happening. Arima is a verb too. In our future lessons, we will be looking at whether these descriptive words are also adjectives, whether these verbs are also adjectives in their own sense or right. But let's continue from there. And before that, there are two ways you can speak or pronounce these three words. For instance, if you say Mundu Mutambi, the tall person, and Emburi Eada, the goat that is grazing, is different from the goat is grazing. Or rather, the goat that grazes. Ura Arima, that one that is digging, is different from Ura Arima. That one is digging. Importantly is just to know that nouns in Logooli, or rather objects or subjects, can be added such a description that suits their either static sense in a situation whereby nothing is happening and a situation whereby something is being done or is being done onto that kind of noun or subject, if not object. If we are to add something onto these sentences, Mundu Mutambi anagura. Mundu Mutambi anagura. The tall person is running. Emburi eada vunasi. The goat is grazing grass. And here, ura arima murimi. Ha is digging the land. Now, when we get to a point whereby we do not have these or we do not need them, because sometimes the talk is such that you won't be repeating the noun always, so that sometimes you just have to continue with the description without the noun. So how do these vary? How do these elaborators, or rather what we first took in as adjectives, change in such a sentence? We will get a word or a sentence, Mutambi anagura. The tall one is running. Eada bunasi. It is grazing grass or it is eating grass. Arima Murimi. He's digging the farm. This is interestingly an aspect in Logooli whereby a sentence, as we will be learning about it, can acquire such different forms, whereby sometimes the noun is present, sometimes the noun is not there. And what represents the noun when the noun is not there? Such kind of letters, these ones, which we have learned about them. A is for person. Wo is a noun, uncountable. Mo stands for a noun, inner space, uncountable. And such other ways that Logooli uses kuibara mangana, or rather elaborate on its words, and hence have as this beautiful language. Thank you for listening for today's class, and keep following for more about Logooli. Asante.